any reason to make participating in the democratic process, any reason to hinder someone casting their vote is an attack on democracy.
Drop kicks. That's how the Deputy Prime Minister describes people who don't enrol to...
Takes one to know one. Is that what we used to say in primary school? Yeah.
...vote ahead of time. Now, under plans to overhaul electoral laws, they wouldn't be allowed to cast a ballot. No more same-day enrolment, just one of the proposed changes. The opposition says it could see tens of thousands miss out on exercising their democratic right. Abby Wakefield reports.
Who votes in an election and how you do it is getting a shake-up.
Hey, look, today we're announcing changes to the electoral law.
Among the changes are closing enrolments 13 days before election day.
We used to be able to get an outcome of the election in 2 weeks. It went out to 3 weeks, and the advice I've had is that if we do nothing, it'll be longer than that, pushing into 4 weeks. And
so I knew he was going to say that. So I've gone to the official results. November the 3rd. When was election day? Last weekend in October? Have a look it up, because this is really important, because what he's saying is it could take a month. I think what they're doing is they're saying we're including our negotiation time. 2024 election date? New Zealand election. So, sorry guys, I should have had this before, but I just thought of it. Help me out here. This is, there we go. So it was the 14th of October, 2023. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, 14th of October, 2023. And the results are out November the 3rd, the final tallied November. So it's 2 weeks. So what's the advice saying that if we change the current system where you've got a result in 2 weeks, that it's going to be 4? This is untruthful. So it was 2 weeks last time, and it sounds like he's saying last time it took 3 weeks. Listen again.
it went out to 3 weeks, and the advice I've had is...
Election day.
We used to be able to get an outcome of the election in 2 weeks.
Which we did. We did. I know it's not exactly 2 weeks, but it's the 14th of October. So the 28th of October would be 2 weeks. It was November 3rd. So it was between 2 and 3 weeks.
Let's be clear what we got last election, right? We got a concession and a victory speech on the fucking night.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about is the last couple of seats. And these people that have enrolled on the day, they're special votes. So making them enroll within 14 weeks is not going to change how quick the special votes come in. Well, because they're coming from overseas and all of this sort of stuff.
But the overseas ones, you're right. But what they're saying is they don't want a special vote to be made on the day. But then again,
why?
I'm with you. We're on the same page. But what they're not saying is there will still be special votes that will need to be counted. There will be Chewie, what you've just said, the international votes. Also, if you're on holiday in New Zealand outside your zone. So you live in Auckland, but you're in Queenstown for the weekend, and so you cast your vote in Queenstown. You're already in the system. That's a special vote that will have to be counted afterwards. So I want to make this really clear. He's saying it used to be 2 weeks, like back in the 60s, and this time around it was 2.5 to 3 maximum. And there's still going to be special votes. So all this is about is hindering people who register on the day and cast their vote on the day. And Chewie, are you aware, are we not clear what the majority of those people, what political persuasion they tend to have? Far, far more to the left of politics than to the right of politics. So this government is making the democratic process harder for some people. And it's very clear in the research, though, some people will make up a bigger portion of left voters than right voters. So this is a cynical move that doesn't need to be done for a government wanting to hold on to power. How are they going to get the next election, Chewie? Maybe they're trying to find the way how they're going to win the next one, to hold on the power by disenfranchising some people's vote.
Yeah.
End of story.
Making it hard for people to vote, or harder for people to vote, is not going to strengthen our democracy.
Yeah.
Removing people from democracy does not make our democracy stronger. David Seymour thinks that if you can't get organised to register to vote, then you're a dropkick.
You're a dropkick.
So good luck if you have your birthday, your 18th birthday close to the election. You can just wait another 3 years, thank you very much. Good luck if you've moved. Good luck if you're a dropkick if you go on holiday close to the election. I remember explaining to some overseas friends what the voting experience here was like in New Zealand, and they were dumbfounded that it is so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, Jesus Christ, if only it was like that here. You know, I said, yeah, like we have, what, a week, 2 weeks to vote? You just wander into your local mall, supermarkets, council office, that sort of thing. Tick a box, walk out, job done. So yeah, I just don't understand what problem they're trying to solve.
Yeah.
Oh,
the problem
we don't get full results for 3 weeks.
No.
So,
Chewie,
that's
sorry.
a you problem.
Chewie, sorry. You do know what problem they're trying to solve. Just pause and it will come to you. What problem are they trying to solve? What is Paul Goldsmith and his guys? What's the one problem they're trying to solve?
That they want to be the government.
Getting re-elected. That's the problem they're trying to solve. Let's keep going on this story.
It went out to 3 weeks, and the advice I've had is that if we do nothing, it'll be longer than that, pushing into 4 weeks. And so we're going to close enrolments the day before early voting.
And if you can't, in 3 years, get out and enrol, 13 days out, then there's something wrong with you.
Frankly, I'm a bit sick of dropkicks that can't get themselves organised to follow the law.
In the last election, around 100...
Hang on. No one's breaking the law, signing up, registering on the day of the election. Who the fuck are you talking about? No one's breaking a law. And you're basically saying there's dropkicks out there who are breaking the law. Why would we have to think about them? Please explain how breaking the law is signing up to vote on the day of, which is currently allowed. Who are you talking about?
I think what he's trying to reference is that it's against the law to not register to vote.
No, but it's
you can not vote, but you have to register.
I agree, but no one's breaking the law if they register on the election day. So what he's saying is people who are breaking the law. Who's he talking about? So what he's saying is we can change this because it'll stop all those people breaking the law. No, it's not illegal to register on election day, or a day before, or 3 days before, or 5 days before. So you're not talking. There's a classic Seymour line for his base, not for the actual conversation.
Yeah. So someone turns up and wants to remedy the fact that they're not registered to vote, and so you want to make that so they can't.
Yeah.
Right. What the
Keep
fuck,
going.
David?
But the other thing they remember is enrolling to vote. I mean, what if you're changing areas and you have to re-enroll and people are saying in the chat they're breaking the law not being enrolled. I actually disagree with that. I get my enrollment form, in the mail. It comes to me, right? I have to authorize that. I authorize that on election day. I'm not breaking the law because I haven't sent the paperwork back yet. That means every New Zealander would be breaking the law until they send the paperwork back. No, you've got till election day to be enrolled. And once you're enrolled on election day, you're not breaking the law. Or else, like I said, everyone who gets those packs 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out, 10 weeks out, who hasn't sent them back is breaking the law. No, you can enroll up to election day. Anyhow, keep going.
150,000 people enrolled after the voting periods.
That cut off, but I just want to go back because it's a big number. So imagine disenfranchising this group of people.
150,000 people enrolled after the voting period started. Under the new rule, that wouldn't be allowed.
A whole lot of people are going to be affected by this. Māori, young people, working people, people looking after kids, people who've got busy lives. And they're the kind of people who we want to vote. We want everyone to vote.
Every election that we've had in recent years has resulted in special votes electing more left-wing party MPs.
The international vote often is strong for the Greens. International votes are a special vote. International votes are offshore. They need to be counted afterwards as special votes. The more New Zealanders that move internationally, and I think there's supposed to be 1 million Kiwis living in Australia alone, the more Kiwis, so put it this way, maybe you would have been better to keep those 17,000 builders in New Zealand, Mr. Luxon, and then you wouldn't have had all the special votes coming in from the west coast of Australia that need to be counted as special votes after the election. So, yeah.
This will knock those votes out. It favours the government.
The government's also reinstating a total ban on prisoner voting, and they're introducing a new offence which prohibits free food, drink or entertainment within 100 metres of a voting place.
And that is straight from the Republican playbook. That policy is a Republican Party policy, because in America, you have to line up sometimes for hours and hours and hours. So there are groups that go along to help you stay in those queues and stay hydrated by giving you, and guess what the Republicans did? They made that illegal. And guess why? Because the longest queues are often in the poorest areas made up of the most cultured, the darkest skinned people. And so they knew passing that law would mostly impact Democrat voters. It is a literal from the Republican, like the law is carbon copied from them.
So with that, has there been any mention of restricting polling sites yet?
No, that's next, though, isn't it?
Well, I
fewer
feel
polling
like that's
sites.
the thing missing, right?
Yeah, that'll be next as well.
A new offence which prohibits free food, drink or entertainment within.
Oh, that was me, sorry.
100
Why can't we
metres
have a
of
democracy
voting
sausage?
Not allowed it, and you're not allowed a fucking guitar. Leave your guitars at home, Whānau. Imagine that. Someone gets in the queue and they've got their guitar on their back and they're just strumming away. Technically, they're breaking the law. Technically, no entertainment. No jokes to be made in the queues, people. No jokes. No entertainment allowed. It's against the law. I mean, just think about what we're saying. Does this not sound like fucking... I don't want to be too dramatic here, but you can't have entertainment while you're waiting. Does that not sound like North fucking Korea? Like, honestly, so what? Someone brings along the stereo and they're playing music. Technically, that's entertainment. Can't have it. Got to be silent. Like, honestly... Yeah, no cell phones, Candy Crush, turn that phone off, put it back in your pocket. No entertainment. Like, what are you talking about?
Devil's advocate time here.
Don't do it.
I mean, you could have some pro-political party music act next to a polling place. It could be seen as coercion. I'm not going off the deep end with that.
But that's already illegal.
Yeah.
There's no electioneering on election day. That's already out.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But honestly, no entertainment. What the fuck does that mean? No entertainment. I typically go and vote at university, and it's in the place where the food courts are. So those are all going to have to be silent. No guitars, no music, no nothing, no entertainment. I was like, come on, are you serious?
drink or entertainment within 100 metres of a voting place. Andrew Geddes says New Zealand historically has made it easy for people to vote.
We have no voter ID. We allow you to enrol and vote right up until polling day. Those are all things that have been part of how we do our elections. This is a major reversal of that approach.
I absolutely reject any idea that people will not be able to vote. They just need to be enrolled.
A blunt government message for the so-called...
I reject the fact that the people won't be able to go in the Tour de France. They just need to have a bike. Everyone can do it, just got to have a bike. It's like, what are you talking about? We just heard 150,000 New Zealanders used that option at the last election. The election you fucking won. 150,000 people used that. What do you mean this won't impact on anybody? This would have impacted on 150,000 voters at the last election. What are you talking about?
Might take a little bit longer though, Pat.
I was just looking up that Republican thing as well. Florida lawmakers have backtracked on legislation language that threatened to ban giving voters food and drink While near a polling place, a federal judge on Friday narrowed a section of Georgia election law that banned the practice of handing out food and water to voters. So maybe it's been turned around by some of these courts, but it's straight from the Republican handbook, 100%.
Drop kicks. Time to get organised. Abby Wakefield, One News.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I almost think this is the biggest story of the year. Maybe it's the bouncing dead cat or whatever that thing is. Perhaps they're trying to take the view of something else, because they are talking about, I mean, it still has to go through the complete select committee. I mean, fuck, I'll do a presentation for that one. No problems at all. I'll put my hand up to do a Zoom. That is utterly ridiculous. Any hampering of any single individual, making it harder for them to vote, is an attack on democracy. I don't care how you try and spin it.
Yeah.
Chewie?
It's dumb. I just don't think it's necessary. Like, the ease that we're able to vote here in New Zealand is a good thing. I think the takeaway here is that we are going to have to mobilise, and we're going to have to talk to as many people, all of us, as we can. Like, one of the things that I was quite proud of last election is that I had a colleague who had recently turned 18. She'd never voted. She didn't know who she was going to vote for, and she didn't know how it worked. And I was able to take her down to the polling booth downstairs in the mall, and she was able to vote for the very first time very fucking easily. And that is a good thing, because now her perception is that voting is easy.
Did you convince her to vote? Did you convince her to vote for the right party, Chewie?
I did not, because I think this shit is important. She asked me who she should vote for, and I said, I can give you my opinion of who I would vote for, but you need to vote for who you think is best for you. You shouldn't vote for a certain party because your parents vote a certain way. You know, it's just something that I think is quite important. I have always voted. You can't be politically active. You can't care about this shit and then not vote. So talk to the young people in your life. Make sure that they're all ready to vote. Talk to the people that have always been vocal that there's no point in voting, and point out the fucking difference in our two governments most recently, and go, with respect, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There is very clearly a difference.
Yeah.
And then you hold a gun to their head and you make them vote for the Greens. I mean, what?
Sorry for that interruption. My 19-year-old is going to her boyfriend's, and she needed me to say "I love you" too back to her. So that's why I turned it off. Yeah, this is disgusting. This is shocking. I don't know. You know how we have our things? I feel quite passionate about this, because democracy feels like the thing that we do. You know, let's be a little bit exuberant here or dramatic here, that literally people have fought and died for. It's the kind of thing that you should be agreeing that if this law impacted one person, it shouldn't be in place, not in a democracy. If one person comes out of a coma a week before the election and they now can't vote, that's one people too many. It just feels that important. And honestly, I know that might seem a little bit OTT, but it does feel that important. This is one of the ones where if it impacts one person, it's one person too many. But as we just heard, it impacts 150,000 people from the last election. And, yeah, I mean, Andrew Geddes, it sounded like he was saying it would impact international votes as well. But this does come back to that thing, and I'm not saying it, like, I'm kind of disagreeing with what I said previously, which is it's the Greens' jobs to activate that left base, who are the ones who are slackest, right? But the reality is, if the government was to bring this in, that becomes about 1,000% more important. If it does come in, which I will fight it, hope it doesn't, but if it does, I only hope and think that it probably can't be in for the next election. But then again, the election after it'll favour the right over the left. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, this is why they're talking about it now, right? This is changes for the next election.